Taylor, what's up? Hold on. I don't know why it's not doing things. Can you hear me? Hello, hello.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello.
How are
Yes.
you?
Good. How are you?
Good. You have eyelashes on?
Ooh.
Do you always have them on?
Uh, extension. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
I love them. Are they're permanent? Or like not
yeah,
permanent, but like, oh, okay. Awesome. Did I tell you about my little the little ones that I have that I use to fill
like,
between the little ones. So I used to have these all the time, but it was so much to keep up with. So now I literally can go 8 weeks between 8 to 10 weeks, really, between each one with these little bitty clusters that I have. So like, I'll have to send you text me after this and and I'll send you a picture. But they're on Amazon and it saves so much time and money, like literally, so much time and money. It's crazy. And then I was like trying to put the individuals on before I went back to these, and I was like, wait, you could like blend it, and it's absolutely the best thought I ever had, ever. Hey, everybody. Or Kirsten, can you hear me? Taylor, you look confused.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I got you. Hey,
I'm
girl.
about to, I'm about to turn. I don't know if you can you see me?
Yeah, just your forehead, but you can turn
I'm
it
about
on.
to I'm about to take the video off because I'm gonna fold clothes while I'm listening.
Okay, yeah, you can take it off and just put it on mute. So, yeah, perfect. Perfect, perfect. Taylor,
Yeah,
Taylor, you look confused.
I lost sound. Like you were talking about eyelashes and then
Oh,
I couldn't hear you anymore.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, can you hear me now? It might have been your Bluetooth. Hey, Tiara, what's up? You think it was your Bluetooth?
I think so.
Yeah. Hey, look, she's doing clothes too. You and Kirsten both doing clothes.
I messed up the time that my sister-in-law had a concert, so I didn't even end up getting to go, but I get to be on this and I get to do my laundry, so
Oh, that's awesome.
I feel
Well,
kind of bad, but I mean, she'll have other ones, so
she is a singer.
she plays in an orchestra. But for some reason I had it, I think I just looked at the flyer, like I just glanced at it so quickly that I thought it said 7 o'clock. Didn't realize that it said June 7th and then like 4 p.m. So
Uh,
it's
yeah,
fine. Gonna do some laundry and talk to you guys.
I am so excited. And this call, it might take, let me make sure it's recording. It might take 2 weeks or two. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably cut it all. Taylor, help me be, Leela, hey, how you feeling? She been sick with
Oh,
the
I'm
stuff.
on mute. What did you say?
How are you feeling?
Uh, like maybe 50% right now.
Well, that's better than 40%.
Really
And
start at dead.
yeah, and 30%. So we're going good. I did text you back, and I am glad that I'd rather know that it's a virus than like I know everybody would rather food poisoning, but it really wouldn't. Just the science based behind food poisoning. You don't want anybody to do that anyway. But it's just a little bit longer lingering, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
So
I'm getting outside for like light walks and gardening and stuff and drinking fluids and just resting and reading. So I'm
yeah.
doing me, doing what I
Yeah.
can.
Good, 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 good. Yeah. So this call might go, I don't know. Taylor, just help me say, like, I try to just be 40, like an hour. And then if we want to go, keep going, but it might do 2 weeks. And can y'all see my screen? I don't think you can, but
No.
okay. That's okay. I'm going to end up sending, so I sent y'all that. Did any of y'all get a chance to look through that worksheet? Okay. So no big deal if you have not. So I guess y'all want to start there. And I did write another outline for the call, and I'm gonna go through that with y'all, but I am gonna send that to y'all too, because it's got a lot of key points in it. Leela, you've been sick. You should have had a chance to write a whole document yourself.
I
Did,
read the whole thing. I didn't write anything yet.
no, that's fine. That's perfect.
Like this is like a really good topic, and it has been a relevant topic for like most of my life. So
Good. And it is going to be a relevant topic for everybody. And don't think that I haven't been through it. Don't think that I haven't. And even today, like the things that I'm going to put, I know y'all can't see it, but the biggest thing, and so I'm going to start with this little quote here. What is, or is somebody typing? Taylor, are you typing?
No,
Yes.
I'm not
Oh.
trying to. I'm just do it.
Oh, I hear like a, I don't know. Okay. So this quote that I wanted to start this with because it's very honest and it says, sometimes you're not, or most times you're not seeing your body clearly. What you're seeing is stress, comparison, perfectionism, fear, insecurity, and a need to control. Feelings are real. This is where a lot of y'all get confused. And again, when I say y'all, I mean us. Feelings are real, but they are not always truthful. The goal is to not think positively about yourself all the time. It's to think truthfully about yourself all the time. And so with that really, the way that we do this, the reason I get y'all to collect all the data and all the journaling that I do, because that is the source of truth. And if you're discouraged, or if you're quote unquote not making progress, or if you feel fat, and I don't even like to use the word, but if you feel outside of a way you want to feel, then you just always return to that source of truth. And then this is going to tell you why you feel this way. Does that make sense? And that just gives you, and I know, Lila, when we first started, this was something that I think it was like 4 or 5 weeks into it, you were like, oh, it clicked. I think we had a call. You're like, oh, it clicks why I got y'all to collect all the data. You didn't understand why. And anyway, that's what made me start to kind of go into the onboarding that I've done now, is just to help y'all understand the purpose behind all the data that we're tracking, because every single thing has a purpose, whether it's just directly weight fluctuations, being able to directly link that so that you can, because ultimately you are going to convince yourself of how you want to feel the most. If you want to feel sad, you're going to feel sad. Just if you want to, like, and I always give this example with Andy, but if he wants to believe that he does not have a good wife, then he is going to say that and he's going to act accordingly, right? So you can tell yourself what you want to believe. So if you control that, what you're telling yourself every day, then that's going to be the outcome. So and then the last part of the quote was, it means like a healthy relationship with your body does not mean you stop having goals. It means you stop emotionally destroying yourself while pursuing your goals. You cannot build a body you love while constantly speaking to yourself with criticism, shame, fear, and disappointment. The goal is not perfection. The goal is awareness, truth, and self-respect. And that's just a really good, and I'm gonna send that to y'all in our community text. But that just hits the exact spots, right? Like self-respect. And I tell myself this every day, especially, still being at home, still living here with Andy and them over there. Like I have to have, as long as I had to just keep my self-respect for myself, it's just something that I think about every day, right? Like so let's go to, so I don't want to talk the whole time, but let's go through the first question, which was, when you think about your body, what is the very first thought that comes to mind? And we can just answer them together here, if you want to answer them. Who wants to go first?
I mean, I guess I will. I think my first thought, that has been my first thought for a long time, is that like there's a lot of feeling like betrayed.
Mm-hmm.
Just with like my spinal stuff, and yeah, like there's this like belief that like I haven't had like a fair chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so yeah, I think I still struggle with like a lot of frustration around like how my body operates and trying to learn to work with it. So that's like in the foreground.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's completely understandable. And so I kind of give a brief thing on for y'all who don't know, Leela's had spinal surgery. Like she has what, two? You had two spine
I've
spinal.
had two spinal fusions, and I'm fused from my sacrum to like T12, which is like a lot of my lumbar.
Yes, and she's very tiny. Not that well, it does kind of matter because it's just a big space on a small body, and just her lower body is just not as mobile as our lower body, or people that don't have that. Um, and and I don't think anything, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I know you have scoliosis, but you've always had this issue, and then
Yeah, like since I was like a preemie baby, like born 3 months early. So like when I um came out of the womb, like one of my vertebrae was not all the way developed. So my first surgery was when I was like 18 months old.
okay. Yes. And so yeah, I mean, it makes sense as to why you think these things about not having a fair chance. That's completely understandable. And the biggest thing, and I can relate this to even myself, like that is a victim mindset, and it's hard to when you've only had this one option. I only have this one option from the day I was born. This is what I've been given. And I know that's so the way you have to change your mind. You have to talk to yourself different, and so that you can say, okay, because there's nothing, I guess my mindset in every area goes directly to what is the alternative? Like, what is the alternative feeling from what I know I need to feel? I need to feel grateful. I need to feel like, all right, bitch, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna have to just work around it, build everything around it. What is the alternative? Well, the alternative is not building around it. The alternative is just playing the victim and doing nothing about it. And that's literally going to get me nothing. So whatever that is that I need to do, I don't even know what I'm doing. And that's, again, you apply this to every part of life. But that just one flip of mindset helps me make the decision of what I need to focus on instead of focusing on what is not good or what is not ultimately in your control in your example. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I hope that I guess with this whole call, Jesus, just everything has just fell out everywhere. Because it does take intention in skill. It's a skill to look at yourself in the mirror every day and be like, this is what I don't like. Okay, wait. Every time I say I don't like something, I'm gonna say I like something. So if you match it, right? And then I've gotten some of y'all to send me a selfie every single day in a pose that you like just constantly like affirmations to yourself, but intentional. Because otherwise, again, going back to what's the other option? Keep hating yourself. Shit, you're gonna have to wake up yourself every day. And when I realized that, I had to stop talking bad to myself, and I had to stop doing bad things that made me talk. That was it. I had to stop doing the shit that was making me talk shit to myself, because I was the only one that was dealing with all the shit. So you talking shit and you're doing it to yourself. So that was stupid. And that is literally what I told myself. I was like, "That's stupid, and you're not stupid." So but again, going back to that's just the truth, So for Leela, like, there's nothing better that you can do for yourself except what you're doing right now. Period. That's it. And every day, just waking up, and it's almost like a game, like a game of, I know that I was given this because I know that I could, or because somebody, I know, believe in God, or you can believe in the universe, whoever you believe in. I know that I was given this situation because somebody thinks I can get through it. And so therefore I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna get through it. So that's what I think of with this divorce thing, is that I don't know, God is the only one that knows I can get through it. And if that's all I got every day, that's what I think about, But that just helps me stay in not just a positive mindset, but just a mindset that I want to stay in. I just don't want to be in a negative one. It just is what it is. Who wants to be there, Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think it makes a lot of sense, and I like the distinction of like a choice point where it's like, cool, you can like lament for the rest of your life about this like issue, or you can use the time that you have to like apply something totally different, even if it doesn't feel natural to do at first.
Right.
It's like just like, I don't know, like brainwashing yourself in the other direction, in like not in a bad way, but like in a way that's actually going to make your life functional.
Yeah. And brainwash, I mean, that sounds like, hey, oh, Megan, you scared the shit out of me. I thought I was looking for Leela. What's up? How are you? I'm so
I'm
excited.
good.
I'm so excited you're here. This is a good call. So I'm pumped.
I have to jump off at 7 because we do our lives on Sunday night at 7. So
Is this Sunday
for
night?
work.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, is it Sunday?
Okay. Yeah.
Perfect. So what I was saying, Leela, was you're brainwashing yourself. Don't think that that's a bad thing. Like brainwash yourself to think and be and do everything you want to think and be and do. It is what it is. So that is not a bad word. I just want to say that. But you
Well,
know,
totally. We're being like,
yeah,
I mean, if we stick with the patterns that are just given to us,
we're gonna have what we have.
we're being brainwashed anyway, so we might as well brainwash ourselves in a direction we want to go.
Exactly. Right. And so yeah, use that use that option. That what is the other option? Because Andy, when he was here, he had two back surgeries. So one was like in 2016 and one was in 2021. And the first one, I was all in. I mean, I had to quit my job because it was like a 3 month, couldn't get off the couch kind of thing. And then we had surgery, quit my job, all the things. And the doctor told him, don't do this, and do this, and this. And come 2021, when his back went out again, I remember he texted me and he said, I think my back went out again. I said, you got to call somebody else because I've been telling you since 2016, the same thing that the doctor had been telling you. And what do you think you are, magical? Like, what do you think? If you're not being preventative, so he played the victim because it's degenerative. It ain't degenerative. It doesn't have to be. It could be like you right now are being proactive, Leela, as far as how bad it could get. You're not, I mean, it is what it is, and I'm gonna not let it get that bad. But so for him, I'm like, no, I don't feel bad for you. I don't feel bad for you if you keep choosing to do nothing and then expect to be better. That's stupid. You know what I mean? But that's the same thing. So always having that, I can do something about it right now. I can start doing something about it right now. And I just got to choose that every day. You know? Does anybody else have when you think about your body, what is the first thought that comes to mind? Anybody else want to share theirs?
I'll share mine real quick.
Okay.
Mine's frustration because I have been in the fitness world or whatever you want to say since 2009. And so I think about all the hours and I've spent like just
Doing
being consistent and being in the gym and doing what I'm supposed to do. And I have not been consistent at all. And so then I look at myself and I'm just frustrated and I don't fit in my clothes. And I just think, I'm just super frustrated by it all. And so that's the first thing that comes to my mind. And then I'll be like a memory or something will pop up on my phone and I'm like, oh, I looked good there. And then I'll look to see the year and I'm like, well, that was only like 2 years ago. So it hasn't been that long ago, but I just get frustrated with myself because I'm either like in or I'm out. And
Yeah.
it's like, I know what to do. And then I'm also frustrated because it's like, sometimes I think, how could I be so strict? Like, just how could I be so consistent and so strict and make it such a priority and not now? And so it's
Right.
like frustrating to me.
Yeah. And that's normal too, as far as frustrating, and especially when you've done something. So I know I'm able to do it. And I know I've probably told all of y'all, if you do it once, you can do it twice. And so for me, that's a motto I live by at this point, even today. And it's a lot easier for me so my biggest fear in life, literally my biggest fear in life, is to look back and say, what if I would have done better? What if I would have done different? What if I'd have just kept doing what I was doing? Like, what if? That question, that's my biggest fear. And I literally make decisions today based on that, based on the outcome of that. And so I'll give you an example. Just at the beginning, when all of this infidelity started, my biggest fear was, what if I don't give him another chance? I have to live with that. right? If I leave right now, what if I didn't give him another chance? So I gave him another chance. 10 weeks later, that he proved what, nothing happened. It just was proven that, all right, you gave him another chance. It didn't, there was no pattern changes. So now my brain is saying, what if you did not leave? Like, what if you don't leave? So every decision that I make, I make it out of that question. I don't want to look back and say, damn, what if I kept going? Damn, look at me. Because every one of y'all can look exactly like you want to look, literally. It only comes down, but where people, I think, not go wrong, but where they sabotage themselves is they think, I got to meal prep forever. I got to do this forever. No, you just do it today. Just do it tomorrow and then do it the next day. And that's it. And then if you get to next week, we'll talk about next week, but that one thing helped me for sure at the beginning, because I was working at the Francis. We were open the Francis. That was 100 hours a week or something. And I literally just went parts of days at a time. Like part 1 done. Kirsten, you were with me. Like I was training her in person. Part 1 done. Part 2 done. Part 3 was training in person. Part 4 going back and close the restaurant. So it was literally, let me just control this part and this part and this part. And then one part was the prep for tomorrow. So that was a scheduled part of my day, because if I didn't do that, then I wouldn't just magically have time. And that gave me freedom, though, that mental freedom, So Megan, you're so busy. And I think you slow down at this point. I do remember you saying that in your text, and you kind of have time and you have idle hands. Idle hands are going to find something to do. Idle hands or idle brain is going to find something to do. So, and again, that's another reason I give y'all all this stuff to track and read and blah, is because if I give you stuff and you are bored, you should never be bored. You got so much stuff to read, look, and watch and listen to from just my platform. That's why. Because if I give you everything, if I fill your day with things that are going to help you reach your goal, then you ain't got time to do nothing else. Does that make sense? So that's how I feel, even for me, like in this season of my life. Some days I'm just filling my hours till I go to bed. And do I want to live like that forever? No, but right now I have to. Right now I can't do anything else about what I'm, and that's okay. And I have to tell myself, that's okay. This is not up forever. But right now I'm going to do what I have to do, bare minimum, to go to bed. And I'm going to get up and I'm going to do it again, Hopefully that helps. Just really for you, it's just, you can do it. And 2 years ago, yeah, I mean, you're going to look completely different than you did 2 years ago. But why would you not? I guess would be a good question. Why would I not do it? If I know I can, then what's stopping you? Like that would be the question that you ask yourself. And then the truth, if it's me, if it's you, all right, well then how bad do you want the outcome? Because you obviously don't want it too bad, right? I mean, again, going back to
Right.
Andy don't want to change. If he says he wants to change, well then if you did, then you would change. It's that simple. And it comes down
Right.
to, and this, hopefully, Megan, use this as like the simplicity of this mindset. Whatever you did yesterday, this is what I told Andy at the beginning. Whatever decisions you made yesterday, just do not make them again and make the opposite. So if Jack calls you, you don't answer it because you answered it yesterday and look what happened. So literally whatever you did yesterday, just the opposite decision, that's what you're going to do today, moving forward. Whatever you ate yesterday, don't eat it again. If didn't get you to where you want to be, just opposite, think that way. And that way you have to figure out what that thing is you got to do. You have to figure that out, but that's where you are going to grow because you don't know it. Otherwise you'd already do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I think it's just this narrowing down the mindset of that simplicity. Like, all right, let me just not do that. Let me just not,
Right.
Does anyone else have anything to say on this little spiel? Y'all caught me on my day one cycle. Phew, I got some emotions. I'm like, I'm excited. Who is that? Who was it? Leslie. Everybody, welcome Leslie. She's back. Haley. Everybody.
You.
Kirsten.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm doing great. I have to ditto everything they said. Frustration is the perfect way to sum it up because it's amazing how honestly I really feel like, oh yeah, I worked out every day last week. And then when I look back at the few notes I took, I realized, I skipped kind of 2 days here, 3 days there. And Megan, I totally agree. For me, when I look in the mirror, I just see fat around my waist, and I am tiny, but I've never lost the baby fat after having children 26 years ago. But there are spurts of time where I take my pictures in the past. I took them for Gracie, and I'm like, wow, I had cuts in my abdomen. Yet, for the life of me, I cannot remember how it happened or when did I fall off the track. So I'm back because I need accountability and I need to quit making excuses because we're all busy. But I love how you just said, and I have to write it down because I'm old.
You're not old.
If you want to change, just change. I'm like, oh my gosh, that sounds so simple and easy. What the hell is wrong with me?
Yeah.
So I'm going
And
to pay attention to that. And today I ate some darn Lindt chocolate because living in a hotel is miserable. But I thought, I'm going to treat myself. Well, after that statement, whatever you ate yesterday, if it didn't work, don't do it again. I am throwing the rest of the Lindt chocolate bar away.
we'll just fit it into your macros.
That's a good point.
That's the
Thank
beauty.
you
That's
for
the
that.
beauty. Yes,
But I'm
yes,
glad y'all are all together, and thank y'all.
yes. Thank you. I'm so pumped to have you back. And then so one thing, even with that, and so a good practice to do is when you do look, because it's easy for us to say, like, I'm just not going to compare myself. I'm just not going to pick myself apart because that's not the reality of how our brains work until we had that skill, right? So for every time you look at the mirror and you pick yourself apart, just pick something that you also like. Like, here's a line. Oh, okay, cool. That I don't like this. I like this. I don't like this. I like this. So just one and one. Let it. And it's really like the way I think about it, this is all balance, but we have to be fair to ourselves. Kind of like what you said, Leela, earlier. Life is not fair. We can only control the hands that we can control, right? But ultimately, we're just dealt the hands of life. And so being able to say, like, kind of like just lost my thought process right there. Jesus. I started thinking about poker. What? Okay, it'll come back to me. But
You were saying we were dealt the hands we were dealt in life.
Yes. Okay, being fair. But nothing like my expectations in life and everything is that life is not fair. That is what I expect. So therefore, anytime I ever say like, well, it's not fair that her coaching business is a bajillion-dollar business and mine's not, or she's a pro and I've been doing this for 8 years and she's been doing it for 1 year. Like if I start comparing myself, that means that I must think that life is fair when life is not fair.
I actually like that you just went on a weird side tangent of poker because I feel like it's a relevant symbol to like playing with the cards that you're dealt and learning how to play them well.
Okay, so I wrote a whole post on this.
Like you just did something. Like I trust it.
No, I did an entire post and I think I recorded a video on this actually using blackjack as the example and how it relates to this journey in itself. One, because you can't do anything about the hands that you're dealt with. You can only play the cards you're given. Another big thing is the table. Like the table has to be a good vibe. It has, or it's not that that's going to change the hands, but it's going to change the attitudes of the hands that the other people are playing. So I have this whole, so yes, it relates so much to your fitness journey. Even the fact that when you get on a roll and you want to walk away or you want to stay doing what you're supposed to do, same thing, right? So I'm glad you pointed that out. I need to find that post and repost it because it is relevant. It ties into it exactly.
It even makes me think of like the poker face and like having to be in a place of neutrality with like your emotional body to not get so attached to the game that you're like going to have an emotional breakdown if something goes wrong. So like, yeah, I'm loving this. Like,
just all about the logic. Like you say, you play like blackjack, you say you play by the book. And there's every now and then you can play your hand based on the feeling and the emotion. And for me, I will say to the table, because we play blackjack a lot, not anymore, but we used to play it a lot. And I would say, like, y'all might not like this, but obviously it's my decision, and I'm going off this feeling, and it's fuck me, and then it's not fuck me, right? But if I played by the book, 99% of the time, if I keep doing what we're supposed to do, then you're always going to come out ahead, right? It's just when you get a little bit excited and you let it kind of, you let your emotions dictate your decisions, that's where everything gets a little bit thrown off. So that was good. That was a really good one. All right, does anybody else have anything to say on that one topic? What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of your body, or even just like things that you have to say about Haley? I like this picture of you too. Haley, what's up?
Hey.
Hey,
Oh,
how are you?
good. How are you?
Good. I'm glad you're here. And
I would say I'm really self-critical when I look at myself. So I thought it was good how you said to focus on pointing out one good thing when you say the bad thing, because I'm usually just like, oh, I need to work on this. I need to do better here. There's fat in this area. This area is not toned. I just run myself down like every time I look in the mirror.
yeah, and that's normal too. And there's another quote I'm kind of skimming through, and this really should make sense too. If I tell you to look outside and look at all the things that are yellow, and you look outside and you're looking for yellow, and you 10 things that are yellow, and then you say, okay, I'm ready. Got all the things that are yellow, and I said, all right, tell me what was red. You're gonna be like, I don't know what was red because I didn't look for what was red. You
Right.
didn't tell me to look for what's red. So it's the same concept. If you are looking for bad, if you are looking for no progress, you're never going to see progress ever. And again, that's why I get y'all to do so many different variables, so that, all right, your pictures might not look different, but let's look over here. Let's look at your digestion. Let's look at your weight. Let's look at your strength in the gym. Let's look at all these let's look at the amount of time you're able to spend with your kids without wondering if you're going to gain weight. That is huge, right? Like, just that time is huge. So being able to look at everything as a variable to say, yeah, you're making progress or you're not making progress. So then you're not linear at that point. Does that make sense? But
Yeah.
that's a good exercise. And then, like, taking a selfie every day. I don't know if Olivia is on here, but I know, Taylor, I'm pretty sure I've had you do this exercise where I get you to take a selfie and send it to me every day. And this is a selfie because I want you to, one, get dressed every day. And one of the biggest things, and I don't know if you've ever heard my podcast, The Woman I Don't Want to Be. One of my biggest pet peeves in myself, which is why I don't do it, is when I would get on video to be on social, or get on Marco, y'all, and say, sorry about my appearance. Bitch, go appear better. Go get your appearance together. Don't say that and keep saying it, because obviously you're not sorry because you keep doing it. So if you ever catch yourself saying, sorry for my appearance, or sorry for blah, 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 if you're really sorry, you will only say it one time, right? So getting dressed. So that picture to me is y'all getting dressed, holding your posture, holding yourself into this mirror, and then looking for a picture that you like, that shows your curves, that shows your shape. Whether you're a competitor or not, it don't matter. You want to because every single one of y'all, when y'all go to take a picture with your family or whatever, you get into a pose, some sort of pose, whatever that is. So your pose is part of that exercise. Find your pose that makes you feel confident. And then we can look at your physique and say, all right, how are we going to make this better? Because ultimately, and I did put this here too, and this quote changed my mindset 2 years ago. And I did a whole podcast on this, a perfectionist. If you claim to be a perfectionist, then when you do not do X perfectly and you get upset and quit, you're not a real perfectionist. You're just a wannabe perfectionist, because a true perfectionist is someone who knows that they will never be perfect, but they show up every day aiming to be perfect, and they don't let imperfection stop them from trying. So a lot of people, especially competitors, are want to be perfectionists. They just want to tell themselves they're perfectionists. That's why they can't do X, Y, and Z. No, if you were a perfectionist, you're going to figure out how to do X, Y, and Z. You're going to figure out how to hit your macros while you have a job and 10 kids and blah, 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 blah. That's what a perfectionist does. A wannabe perfectionist makes up reasons as to why they cannot do X, Y, and Z, and then they stop. Does that hit home to anybody? Because it hit home to me the first time I heard it. Because a lot of people do that. A lot of people. So
Yeah, I can relate to that perfectionist journey. And like the piece about not being a true perfectionist if you give up, because like creating good things takes a lot of work and effort. And like I used to think that you could just like manifest or whatever, like believe your way into a reality, but like yeah, it just takes a lot of time and devotion and like not giving up. And it just is reminding me of like my glass blowing journey. I started glass blowing again after like 8 years, and I'm a perfectionist in that art, so I can like I like make cool things that I can like
that's
sell.
cool.
And it's really hard to do, and I like it's one of those places that I get to experience my perfectionism in a really like positive outlet, because it's just like being in a crisis environment where it's like fucking hot, you could really hurt yourself, and like it's a really demanding art form. And
Yeah.
okay, yeah, we need outlets for our perfectionism, and I feel like the gym or like a craft of some kind or like parenting or a relationship is like a good place to like exercise that.
Yeah. And the thing with bodybuilding, and this didn't click either for, for me for a little while, like early in my journey, but literally bodybuilding is the building of your body. I know that sounds so, but like when at the beginning I was bodybuilding in 2013, I had always strength trained, but then I got into powerlifting and Olympic lifting and all these other forms of training. And probably I did that 5 years and I didn't physically look any different. Was I stronger? Yeah. Was I faster? Yeah. Was I more powerful? Yeah. But did I aesthetically look different? No, I didn't. But it was because I was not focused on building a physique, building a body. So I went back to bodybuilding style training and like full time in 20, probably 16, 17, 18. And then it's just been on ever since. But comprehending that part, because a lot of women think I'm straight up and down. I have big bones. I have big, whatever things you got going on, that's okay. We can build from there. So I used to be like a board, like not only thin, but like my shoulders, my hip bones, everything was just straight. There wasn't no curves. There wasn't nothing. And so when I figured out, all right, you can build a wider back to make your waist look small because you can't do nothing about your bone structure. Does that make sense? So that changed a lot for me. That changed training altogether. Like, all right, now I'm training. So whenever you say a craft, your perfectionism, your body can be a canvas. Your body is a canvas. And if you want, I want y'all to take out your perfectionism on your body. Just, I need you at the same time to say, it ain't going to take a year or 5 years. Otherwise, I wouldn't have no job. Everybody be fit and everybody have all the muscle and have all the shape, right? It's going to take time. So the same thing goes with everything though, but I do want y'all to think this is an outlet. It's just a little different outlet than the glass blowing or the other things, because your body, you're going to wear it the rest of your life. Let's build it to be exactly what you want it to be. Does that make sense? Anybody have anything to say about that? Like just that philosophy, I guess. Not philosophy, that fact. No?
I have a question.
Yes.
So like with me, like specifically being postpartum and well, not even just that, because I think I mentioned to you before that like the body dysmorphia stuff has been like a struggle for me my whole life, even at my lowest weight ever.
Right.
What are some tips to feel happy with what you have now, even if you're not at your goal? Like, because I honestly, like when you were given the tip earlier about if you're going to say something negative or if you have negative thoughts about your body, give something else that's positive. Well, honestly, like this sounds so terrible to say out loud, but I have trouble finding even like one thing like that I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm proud of that.
Yeah. And that's normal too. Like, just know that. But I want you, and that's going to take the more intention, and that's also going to fuel yourself to doing what you know you need to do. So every day, right? And the only way that you can, the only realistic thing I want you to ever say, because I don't want you to lie to yourself to make yourself in a better way of thinking or mood. But the reality is, if you don't like what you see, then we're going to change what we're doing. And if that means we got to change every fucking thing that we're doing across every part of our life, then that's what we're going to do. Simply because I'm tired of looking in the mirror and not being able to point out one thing. Do you even have a tooth? Let me look at my teeth. You got one tooth that you like? Okay, that's good, right? So you got to be tired of, like earlier when I said, I was tired of myself saying, I'm gonna do better, or I'm gonna start over, or I don't like feeling like this. Like, I just got so tired of just hearing myself say that. It was annoying. I was annoying myself. So I was like, then stop doing the things. And so Kirsten, like, you're just coming back in. She was with me years ago, just so y'all know. You're just coming back in. So right now, you've done what you need to do to not have that feeling, not have the feeling of looking in the mirror, I can't find something. So I am gonna challenge you though with that. I want you to point, if it takes you 30 minutes to figure out something that you like, whether it be a freckle or a piece of hair, I don't care, but that's 30 minutes of not picking yourself apart. I'd rather you spend it trying to figure something out just to tell me than to spend it self-sabotaging. So I do want you to start that, because that is, and I think I've probably gotten almost all of y'all. I know, Taylor, I've gotten you to do it. Haley, I think I've gotten you to do it. A lot of y'all do it. I've done it. Like, that's all of the things that I get y'all to do, I've done. But and then the other thing I was going to say, Kirsten, was I have, now that I've been in the bodybuilding world, the bikini world, I have met the top athletes in this world. The athletes that, the women that y'all would look at and be like, God, I want to look like her. I want to look just like her. And you know what? They hate their body. And that was, for me, very, like, I learned that early on when I first met these Olympians and these women that all of us look to. And they don't have the mindset that I'm teaching y'all. They have the most distorted, they should be on this damn call. They have the most distorted mindset I've ever seen, being at the level that they are. And then what bothers me the most is and that's why, like, for y'all, that's why I do what I do as far as leading y'all, because I don't want you to look at them, because I know what the truth is behind all these girls. I'm truthful with y'all. I'm truthful with everybody. I'm going to tell you if I don't feel good about myself or whatever. And to be honest with you, because of that, because I'm so honest, I make sure that I do things that I'm proud of, because I'm going to tell you what I did. So I might as well, if I don't want to be embarrassed, if I don't want to be ashamed, if I don't want to be disappointed in myself, then I'm just not going to do something that's going to disappoint myself, because then I got to tell y'all. And then what? Then I'm going to be, everybody's like, oh, well, if Gracie does it, then I can do it, But all that to say, the top athletes in the world don't have the mindset that I'm teaching y'all. So don't think that getting abs and getting to your goal, and I did put this on my little paper, and all y'all can ask yourself this all the time. This is like the ultimate question. If you reached your goal tomorrow, or let's just say you reached your goal today, Taylor, I know you know this, but if you reached your goal today, your goal weight, Kirsten, you can answer this. What would you do different tomorrow? Or y'all all can answer it, actually. If you reached your goal body today, what would you do different tomorrow?
I guess I'll answer it. So you're talking about like in day-to-day life or with training and diet and exercise?
Well, in everything, because that's all part of day-to-day life.
Well, one, I would go shopping and get out of the oversized clothing that I've been wearing for the past at least 6 months.
Okay.
And wear a bikini.
Okay. So those are the surface level. Those are great answers, because those are the things that are not like, I would go, I ask this question to competitors whenever I say, if you turn pro tonight, what are you going to do different tomorrow? And if they have an answer, then they're not in this for the right reason. So if you had an answer that was like, I would not go to the gym, I would not stop tracking my macros, I would start, whatever you're going to do, that is going to be the opposite, get you to where you're not wanting to be. That's where you go wrong. So those were good answers, because that was things that you would actually physically do. Not in, I guess, does that make sense of what I'm trying to say? Because you just want to make sure that, because especially with all of y'all, because every one of y'all are a perfectionist, the number one thing you don't understand is that when you get to this goal, you're going to set it before you even celebrate the goal. You're going to be on to the next goal and look back. And I want y'all to all look back over the next couple of weeks. Send this with your check-in. How many examples can you give yourself that is the situation? And I could give you a million. Literally, y'all, I wrote that Becoming Her workbook, the journal. Some of y'all probably don't even know that I wrote an entire journal. It's on Amazon. It took me 1.5 years to get this thing on Amazon. And guess what? Before I was even able to market that, I jumped into this system that I'm about to finish. So nobody even knows that I created this journal that's life-changing, because I did exactly what I just told you. Before I got to the end goal, I had already set another goal, and you set another goal. And so you got to say, so like for me, I told myself, after this system goes live, which hopefully is in the next 4 weeks, you are not doing anything else like this until you get your life together. Like, I got to move, and all that things. But can y'all relate to that, as far as when you got to a goal, you immediately, if not, Tiara, I mean, she's still in here.
I am.
You did one today. I mean, this is a good thing. Where you at? I know where you're at.
I'm here.
Oh, Jesus. You're right in the center. I was like looking at the top. But you did this exact thing today, which it's a great thing. You said next year I'm doing a natural show. Perfect. Well, let's get to this first goal first. And then when we get there, we're going to assess, and we're going to get to the second goal. And then we're going to get to that goal. So bypassing all the things that have to happen between now and then is what we got to force ourselves to slow down and be like, okay, you finish this workbook. Let's literally spend the next 6 months talking about it, just so people can buy it. Because otherwise, what'd you make it for? So the same thing goes with everything, though. Like that's why I don't know, Haley, I know me and you've talked, and Taylor, I give you, let's do a roadmap for the season, but we're going to focus on one show at a time. We don't have a warm-up show. We just have a show. We have the show, and we're going to see what happens, and we're going to get their feedback, and then we're going to go to the next one, and then go to the next one. That's how I do it. No, that's how I do everything. But it's because if I don't, then I just fly through life, and I just forget, and I don't enjoy it. I don't even remember some days, and that's not the way that I want my journey to go. Does that make sense? How did that even get off? Sometimes I'm like, how did you get on this topic? Yeah, so Kirsten, did that answer your question a little bit, as far as like the fact that you're never going to be happy 100%? You have to make yourself happy. Like, you have to literally look at yourself and look in the mirror and be like, I'm doing everything I can every day. I couldn't do it. I couldn't make a different decision. I guess that's another big thing, that going back to the what if you do what you're supposed to do every day, then what else can you do?
Yeah, that helped.
And again, the mindsets that I tell y'all, just the biggest thing is they all apply to every part of life. And that's where people go wrong. Like, and again, I'm always using Andy as an example because it's so real, and it's so in real time for me. But he is loyal to like this one thing. He's loyal to his cappuccino at every day, y'all. Every day he has gone for 13 years to get the same cappuccino, the same place. When we go out of the country, he goes and finds it. That one thing, when I finally brought awareness, because he would be like, I cannot be committed. Like, that's his one thing he says he can't do, commit. But you commit to this, it's actually been 20 years. Every morning for 20 years, you've committed to this cappuccino. So it is in you. You just don't think to apply it in other areas of life. But if you can be committed to one thing, then you can be committed to anything. You just have to focus on that one commitment. So like loyalty for me, I'm loyal across the board. I'm honest across the board. Like, does that make sense? So like your core values are across the board in everything in life. So you don't have to tell yourself today I need to be this person or that have this attitude or no, just you are one person. Just figure out who she is, and that's how you live. And it's simple. Just live like yourself, and you don't have to go back and forth. Does that make sense? As far as like kind of playing two different roles, and that alone causes the confusion of your mind to be like, wait, what am I supposed to be doing today? Tracking macros, not tracking macros. Does that make sense? Wait, take your Bluetooth out.
Yeah, Taylor, your audio is all jacked up, girl.
It was an alien.
I think it was the Bluetooth.
How about now?
Good.
Okay. So I just want to build off what Kirsten said a little bit as far as like way back once upon a time when I first started and Gracie had me like identify one thing that I liked about myself every day. It literally took me forever. And I literally could not pick something that I liked about myself. And I very simply started with, I'm a good nurse. I know that. That's not a physical characteristic I have, but I know I'm a good nurse. And then it started with like, okay, today I know that I'm kind. And then slowly I was able to be like, yo, I like the color of my eyes. Or like, I got nice glutes. Like it slowly built from that, but like it didn't start naturally and it didn't start as something I was super comfortable with. And now I can look at the mirror every day and find 1-2 things I like about myself. And the other thing I just want to say is like when we talk about like ourselves, I always like to think about like I am somebody's daughter. I am somebody's sister. I am somebody's wife. Would I want my sisters to speak about themselves this way? Would I want my mom to think about herself this way? Like I have so many beautiful, strong women in my life, and I want them to speak about themselves how I then speak about myself, is kind of how I look at it.
Yeah. And especially with kids. No, that's a great point. And with having kids, Kirsten, I'm looking at you and I'm looking at Haley. Let me see who else is on here. Leslie, I know you have yours are older, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But y'all had like the reason what kept me going when 2013, the first 2 years when I didn't have coach, I didn't have accountability, I didn't have nothing except I knew I couldn't be this woman to an 8-year-old stepdaughter. I did not want her to see me not eating French fries with them because quote unquote that's bad, or I didn't want her to see me drinking alcohol all the time, or I didn't want her to see. I wanted her to see me for the woman I wanted to be, even though I didn't know what the hell I wanted to be or what I was doing. I just knew what I didn't want her to see. And I literally made decisions on that every day. That's what made me get up at 4 a.m. That's what made me track macros at midnight when I got home from the restaurant. That's what made me do everything that I did. And there was nobody saying good job, because there was nobody doing it. The only good job, my first good job I'll never forget was 2 years later when she was in 5th grade, and I probably told y'all the story. 5th grade, she came home and she said, Miss Garcia, this girl told me I was gonna get fat and if I kept eating French fries. And I told her that my stepmom has a 6-pack and she eats French fries. And that was my good job, keep going affirmation. Again, no idea what I was doing, but I just knew I didn't want to do what I was doing. And so for y'all, Kirsten, Haley, just keep making decisions based on one, what you want your kids or your kid in Kirsten's case to even see, because yours is a little baby. But still she sees. Haley, yours are old enough to pick it up. and gonna copy you. And they do it all the time. I know you know that. Give them something to copy. And when instead of laying on the couch, lay on the floor and stretch. Like I'd rather, so like and I don't have kids, but when Katie, my best friend, comes in over here with MJ knows, one, I'm gonna ask her where her water bottle is. I bought her a hydro jug, so she shouldn't, there ain't no reason she shouldn't. So we always stretch. Every time she comes here or I go there, the first thing we do is we stretch. That's it. There ain't no like rhyme or reason. We just stretch. But she knows, she's 5 and she knows that. So just being able to, we started that when she was like 3. I was teaching her how to foam roll at 3, but literally it was just because I needed to foam roll and she was with me. So I was like, well, you're gonna learn how to do this. And at 2 years later, she relates me with foam rolling and water. And that's what we want. That's what we want them to think, and we control that. So Taylor, that was a good point. And again, even with your mom, your parents, my mom, all the time, because my mom, they're like in their 60s, but that mindset that they have, all of y'all's parents, I'm sure, that's what is a hard mindset to break, because 1, they've had it for 60 years, and 2, they didn't grow up with it's okay to eat carbs. It's not going to make you fat. My mom, I've been doing this for 13 years. She's still barely on the track, barely on the macro track. She still counts, but she still undereats. But again, so that's a hard mindset to break. You just have to say, I just know that when I undereat, I've been undereating for 50 years. That ain't working. That's all I really know. So I don't need to keep undereating, very simple. So when you're thinking about that this week, I wonder how many times you can apply that one, like break it down to that simple mindset to making decisions in life. Because you're making a decision from the moment your alarm goes off until you decide to go into bed. Everything you do is a decision. And once you comprehend that, and you're like, all right, well, I just want to make good decisions all day long. All right, well, good. Let's take one decision at a time and let's make them one at a time. Don't rush it. And then tonight, when you get home, we're going to make the decision to plan tomorrow, and whatever worked today, just plan it tomorrow. That way we don't have to make those decisions tomorrow. We already know what we're going to do. That's why I eat the same thing every day. That's why I wear the same clothes all the time, because I don't have to think about, I just pull the same shit out. I eat the same thing because that literally gives me brain space to do things like this, to do things like get a divorce, to do all the other things. So what can you do every day and then reflect on and say, all right, this worked. I'm just going to copy paste. This would go for food, for the route that you go home. Like literally, y'all, I drive this route to get to my parents' house, and it's about 5 minutes longer than this other route that's new. But I don't care, because I don't want to think about how I'm driving. I just want to drive the same route I've been driving for the last 30 years, however long, and get there, even though this shortcut over here is going to get me there 5 minutes faster. I don't care. I'm just going to put myself in autopilot, go this way. Does that make sense? Does that, like, can anybody relate to that? Like once, because all of y'all have put yourself on autopilot at some point within your fitness journey, macro journey. Can anyone relate? Just to the simplicity, I guess, would be the question.
I have definitely related to that. I've been eating the same exact breakfast, the same exact lunches, and the same exact dinners with like slight variation. That's it.
Yeah.
Just easy. I even know exactly how much things weigh, like without even looking at my app, because I've been eating the same thing.
Yes.
It takes the mental load off.
Yes. And that's huge. And I know I made the brain space worksheet, but I need to make sure that I have all these. That's what Taylor and I am going to talk about the assistant position. Once you start to put all the things on autopilot and you start to see how much brain availability you have, not even just the autopilot, y'all, but how much energy, how much brain space is looking at the mirror and trying to find something that you like. How much brain space is that taking up? That's why you track your food and you do your workouts, because you don't want to take that brain space. You don't want to give that brain space to that action. How many times you have to get dressed again because it didn't fit right? How many times you have to waste picking yourself apart if the only reason you stay on track is just to not waste that time, that's enough. That's enough reason. And then when you're like, I don't ever have to change twice. I don't ever have to pick myself apart. And it's not because I'm perfect. It's just because, goddamn, I can't do nothing else better. Like, I could not make a better decision. Every day I make good decisions. If that means I drink a fifth of Fireball, that means I drink a fifth of Fireball. That was an intentional decision. It is what it is, right? I can't be mad if I'm hungover tomorrow. I can't be mad if I'm overweight tomorrow. I can't be mad about anything when you get to that level of decision making. Does that make sense? I think, Leila, I think we've talked about this a lot earlier. I mean, we talked about this with all of y'all, but probably the most that hit home was for you. Like, you were very self-aware of like, yes, I just don't want to feel this way anymore. Literally. And that it was like a light switch for her. It was like a light switch for all of y'all, to be honest with you. And some of them, the light switch goes on and it might dim off a little bit, but some of them just flips on and it's just like, I don't want that.
Yeah, I remember that like moment of clarity.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it's called. Okay, good.
Choice
That's
point.
yes. So that is, yeah, moment of clarity. And you have a lot of them, I'm sure. Or I know we have a lot of them. I didn't ever even put that word together. I just call it a light switch. But it's just like, yeah, it's the moment of truth, I feel like. Clarity, yes. But honesty and truth and just, I just don't want to keep doing this to myself. Like, I just don't want to keep doing it to myself, you know? But that it takes awareness to get there. And some people never do. And then it takes also intention to decide differently every day, one day at a time, you know?
Yeah. I have about an hour to be here and
Okay.
I'm gonna have to skedaddle.
We're gonna do
now.
this on two different, I think. Two or
Cool,
three.
because I feel like this is like the mother lode of important topics, and
Yes.
so I want to keep talking about it.
Yes, we'll plan another one. We might do another one this week. I think because we're supposed to have one tomorrow, or maybe we'll wait till the next Monday. But anyway, I'll text y'all after in the community. But yeah, this will take a couple weeks for us to do this.
Yeah.
So what time is it? 7:30. So do y'all want to cut it here? Or do y'all want to keep talking? We could cut it here and that'd be an hour, and then we can kind of just wait and kind of just finish up what kind of we went over today. Y'all, I guess let's do that. And so like the actionable items, like what are y'all's takeaway actions from here today?
I think for me, I do want to do some writing. Maybe some kind of like forgiveness ritual with my body. And then yeah, just like I liked the idea of like some selfies or like standing in front of the mirror and saying things that I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about us doing like, because I've been wanting to do something like that in our community thread, because one, you are reminded every day that we're all in this same feelings, same emotions. But what if we did a selfie in the communities? Like every day you could just post a selfie in the community and just say how you feel. And that's just going to force you to show up positively, right? And these people, these girls, us, are looking for you. And that holds you accountable within integrity, right? I'm going to not let these girls down. And shit, do that until it gets to where you don't want to let yourself down. Because that doesn't come the first year or 2 years. That comes after you've proven to yourself that you are not going to let yourself down. That's just not an option. So y'all want to do that?
Yes. Yeah.
I think that's a really good idea.
I think it'd be fun. And it could be like,
I mean, as a photographer, I'm already like, ooh, self-portraits. This should be fun.
Yeah.
Like my creative brains. Yeah.
Yeah. So
not wanting to do just a regular old mirror selfie or something.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing with the thing that when I have y'all do that is you have to look presentable. And that again holds you accountable. That don't mean you have all the makeup on. That just means you do your hair. That means you put a little bit of mascara on. Like you're holding your shoulders back, you're sticking your boobs out, taking your butt, whatever it is to create the shape that you want to see. That's what the point of this exercise isn't just to take like a ugly ass selfie. Like I saw a TikTok last night. This girl, she said, I don't like when my new boyfriend tells me to send me a selfie when she's like, I look like shit all day long. I ain't gonna send him no shitty selfie. And I was like, well, then that's what makes you get dressed, right? That's what makes you just get dressed, even if you don't go out of the house. If you gotta take a selfie, shit, I'm a selfie ready all the time, right?
I'm gonna pop off, but like I'm ready for this, and yeah, this is a really amazing topic.
Yes, I'm excited, and yes, I'm gonna send y'all this worksheet or whatever I did. Okay, perfect, Leila. You can go ahead, but no, and I'm gonna send you all this on the community.
Okay.
But
See you guys later. Bye.
bye. But yeah, so let's do that in the community, and I'll put that in the community after this, just kind of like the overview, not the rules, but that'll just be fun, right? And Kirsten, you gotta is she still on here? You gotta get dressed up every day because you are a lawyer or an attorney or both. I think it's the same thing, but so everyone, like all of this, I don't leave this house, and Taylor I think you're probably the one who's been with me the longest. There's very few days that I don't look. I ain't saying I'm beautiful, but I at least try every day. Because one, when I had a husband, that was why. But now that I don't have a husband, I just do it for me. Like I do my hair, I put my earrings in, same one, same earrings, same necklace, same everything. But I just like to look presentable for myself, and that alone helps my confidence more than anything. Because if I gotta run out of the house, I don't look like trash. If I run into my future husband, I look good. I'm ready to go. Let's go. You want to get married? Let's go. Like you never know at this point. We ready to roll. We gotta look good all the time. We was waiting on Morgan Wallen the other day, but he didn't come around. So we'll have to figure that one out. Not now, I guess. But does anybody have anything to say about what we talked about today? You can talk yourself. Oh, go ahead, Tira.
I was just gonna say one thing, because Kirsten, I know you talked about how it's like hard some days to like find something that you like about yourself. And exercise, and Gracie, I learned this like before I ended up meeting you, but it helped a lot. And it did require a very heavy dose of like honesty from me, which I'm thankful for. Is if I found myself like self-deprecating talk, I literally would have to get like, I was actually looking for my journal that I used to write in, but I guess I filled that one up and I put it somewhere. I used to literally write down what I told myself, and I'd have to tell myself whether it was rooted in fact or opinion, which it was always 100% rooted in opinion.
Yep.
And then I would have to sit there and I would have to write down, and this is the hard part, I would have to write down 3 things that I liked about myself. And it got to the point where I would get so annoyed that I would think like that I just was like, I just need to stop. And it was one of those like light switch moments where I would do it day after day. I would write down those bad thoughts I had. I would keep them on my phone, like in a notes app, and I would write them down, and then I would come home and I would have to sit there and I would have to journal about it. And it just got to the point where I would just get so tired of doing that to myself that I just was like, I'm done. And I have, I mean, I'm not saying that like I don't have those days where I'm like, oh, this sucks, but it was one of those exercises that I did for maybe a week. And after that week, I was like, I am done thinking about myself like this. This is not rooted in fact. This is all opinion.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was one of those, it was a hard exercise, but it was a solid light switch moment, I guess.
Yeah. And that's, so one of the things to get further down in this little document that I wrote that we'll touch on next time, but the fact or opinion, is it fact or opinion? Like that's a black and white. Is it fact? And again, going back to why I get you to track so much, because I think, let me see, who was it? I think it was one of y'all this week. I don't think she's on here. I can't even think of who it was. Oh yeah. Haley, Crystal was on. She was like in her check-in, she said, and I'm not calling her out, of course I'm not, but she would call herself out if she was here. But anyway, she said, and we've all done this, I'm not making progress. I'm the same weight I was when I got back. That was 3 weeks ago. And 3 weeks ago, she was 155. And today, you're 151. So One, that's a difference. That ain't the same. Literally, it's not the same. Just is what it is. So therefore, stop saying that because it's not true. And you're just not making enough progress or fast enough for you. That being a huge, huge realization. Is it fact? No. Okay, well, then we just don't believe it. That's it. Like, that is as simple and black and white as it is. And if it is a fact, like the journal, what you were just talking about, Tara, if it is a fact because you have proven it to be over and over and over, then it's up to you to change. And, with Andy, I asked him, this is like been after everything, it was probably 2 months ago. He's apologized again for the same thing that he did. It has nothing, and it was not the infidelity thing. It was just apologize for not showing up when he was supposed to. And I asked him, I was like, you don't get tired of saying the sorry for the same thing over and over and over. Like, that doesn't annoy you? Because it annoys me. Like, because you're not sorry. Otherwise, you wouldn't keep doing it. And so, like, it literally, it's the same thing, but you got to call yourself out on it. I am tired of saying, I'm going to start over. I am tired of looking in the mirror and being like, I don't like the way I look. Well, you must not be tired enough because you keep doing it. And that honesty, that will change your life. So yeah, that was a good one. Good story. That was, so fact or not, like, let it be factual. And I'd rather y'all be black and white and be factual. And if it's not proven, then you don't know. I'd rather you just not believe it unless you know it, if that makes sense. And this, again, it applies to your body and everything in life. Same mindset, Does anyone else have anything to say right now about what we talked about today? This is going to be a really good, series, I feel.
And side note, Morgan Wallen's mom and sister live like 10 minutes away from me. So.
Wait, where they live?
Yeah, my one of my friends lives in the mom's neighborhood, and they have like a neighborhood pool. So she'd like give us her key card. We could go hang out. You could at least meet his mom.
Oh, she would love me. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we need to talk about this. And Leela, okay, she went to the Morgan Wallen concert with me, her and Jessica, and we are going to do our retreat, like the smaller one soon, because we would love each other. But Leela is really into like a lot of things, but magic is one of the things that she's really into. And I love that kind of stuff. Like, it's just fun and interesting anyway. And so she was supposed to, when she left the concert, because she left early, was supposed to go to Morgan Wallen's trailer and get some dirt because that's what she needed. Y'all, we were just having fun. It was just so fun. Like, she was like, okay, well, this is how we have to manifest. We have to have something that touched him. And I'm like, what do we get? And she was like, you can go get some dirt. I was like, okay. So we were going to do that. Anyway, whew, I wish Leila was here. She could definitely explain a lot better. But I definitely am now coming to you because we're going to go catch him.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I actually met him once. I was a lifeguard at it's like a redneck country club out here, but it was before he was big. It was like 2018. And it's funny because he was there playing golf like with his dad, and our boss, we were like on the golf cart taking the trash, and he's like, "Oh, like, how are you doing? Like, you gonna just keep doing that stuff until till they quit paying you?" And I was thinking he was like a professional golfer or something, let
Yeah.
alone like a pop star. But yeah, at that point he had only came out with like BFE was his big one.
Yeah.
So that was like before, that was like 2018 before he got really big. And I was like, really? I could have at least got a picture with him if I'd have known. But he was really nothing to look at back then. Like, he's a little better looking now, but.
Well, it's funny because I need to do a podcast on this. I kind of did one. I might have started it, but his album, and this goes back to the mental part. I want y'all to think about this. His album, this I'm the Problem, that was a very, very important part of my journey, of my healing journey this past year in every way. And I'm gonna do a post on it soon. And I was thinking, because I was thinking about Andy, the way he looks, his blue eyes, and his looks nothing like Morgan Wallen, nothing like him. So obviously I'm not attracted to that type and that look of a man. So why was I so attracted to him in this last year of my life? And it was literally because he has the emotions that Andy does not have. Like he can speak to, he just is open, and he has the ability to speak his emotions and all of that. And that is attractive to, and so when I was putting that together, I was like, what? Why do I think he's so sexy? He's not sexy. Like he's just not is. He's just not. But what is sexy is as a man that can relate to my emotions, can talk about emotions, which was nothing that Andy could do, So that was a really cool realization that I had. And then that goes for opposite too, just in me being able to say, like, that's sexy for us to be able to say, I'm confident in myself. Like even going back to just being confident in who you are, like in how you feel and what you have to say and all the things. That's sexy, staying quiet and saying that's not. Hopefully that kind of helps. Does that make sense to y'all? But yeah, definitely, Haley, I'm gonna come see you this year because we're gonna go get him somewhere. But his concert was so good, and that's what I was gonna do. I'm gonna do a post on just all the songs. And do y'all like music? Like I like music. Like I heal through music, like everything. Do y'all feel the same way?
Yeah, and I like play certain music depending on what mood I'm in. And that kind of like, I guess, feeds into that emotion or lets you like feel those emotions, I guess, more deeply.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. And that was something that with going to the concert, and it was fun to reflect back on it. Like I knew the songs that triggered. So part of like emotional, like trauma, healing these things, Haley, you might be able to take this. Healing trauma is something I never had to do until now. And music has definitely helped. And like you said, there's part of one of the exercises that I do is there are some days that songs come on that remind me of Andy. And I know immediately I cannot sit through this song. I cannot sit here and listen to this song right now. Like I know my strength is not here. And then there's some days the challenge for me is getting through those songs, eventually getting through those songs, like the song Titanium. That was a very, like, I felt like I had to be titanium at the beginning and not be hurt and pretend like everything was okay when nothing was okay, right? And so, and to know that somebody that loved me did this to me, I couldn't even listen to the song for like a second before I would just emotionally not lose it, but have emotions. And being able to now sit through the song completely shows me how much I've healed. So going back to the Morgan Wallen concert, I was like, I told my best friend Jessica, I said, I don't know, we're gonna see tomorrow how much healing I really got going on, because if all these songs don't trigger me, that's great. That's a great sign for me emotionally that I've healed, or that I'm healing continuously. And none of the songs that I thought were going to make me emotional or could have, none of them made me emotional. The only song that made me have emotions there was two, Cover Me Up and I Found Myself in This Bar. And I have two stories I'm going to tell a podcast, but I'll do a podcast on that. But that was really cool to reflect on and see, okay, well, these songs that at one point triggered you tremendously, you've healed this part. You're not healed altogether, but you've healed this part. And that's all you can do. And that's all I can expect, and this relates to y'all, to all of y'all's journey in every, like your physique journey, especially. Like you can only do so much. You can't expect to heal, in my case, from 13 years overnight. That's just not how it goes. And I didn't know how it goes because I've never been through it. So hopefully this helps just, again, you relate it to every part of your life so that you can stay realistic with what your expectations are. So to put muscle on, to lose body fat, it's going to take time and intention. So let's put intention into it every day to get the outcome we want. Hopefully that makes sense. Am I rambling? Okay. Does anybody else have to say anything about music or anything that we talked about. I love talking about music. It's healed me so much. But okay. Well, thank y'all for coming. Kirsten, thanks for coming. Leslie, I'm so glad you're here. Taylor, me, you, Leslie, Kirsten, the last ones on here. So I think I'll text y'all some in the community. I'm gonna text y'all this, and then we will I'll say about the challenge, and let's do that for the next couple weeks, and then we'll just pick back up where we left off with this, and that'll be good because the other girls y'all can talk about maybe what we learned in the community, so the other girls come on maybe.
Will you also either text out or share the like quotes that you like read off?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Yes,
So I
I will
really
do
liked all of those.
Yes, I will do that too. So I'll do that tonight, over tonight or tomorrow. But just know, all of y'all know that we're all in this together. Like, come show up in the community. That's why I built that. Like, that's what I'm trying to build. Kirsten, so that you show up, because I know both of y'all actually, you live in a hotel, Leslie, but Kirsten, you live in a town where it's not normal. I hear you. So let's normalize it over here in this little online community so that you can feel accepted and like you are just like us, because we all doing this together. It is what it is. And then we'll have our retreat and we're going to just take over the world. That's the plan. So
Definitely.
yes, definitely. I'm so glad you're here, Leslie. I'm so excited. So I will text y'all in the community in just a few minutes, and then we'll just show back up. I think let's do next Monday. And I'll send y'all this too. And let's just get back on our normal schedule. So the 15th. Yeah. Okay. I'm so excited. Thank y'all for coming.
Hey,
Y'all have
good
a
night,
great
girls.
week.
Night. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah.
Bye,
Good
guys.
night.
Night, y'all. Are you here?